Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, and today a game that I picked up absolutely randomly. It wasn't in the PlayStation New Year sale, it was before that actually, a bit before Christmas. On Steam, if you play games on PC on Steam, it's not unusual at all to suddenly find a different game that you never found before. There's so many games, indie games all over the place. It's very easy. You could go through, there's that thing on Steam, if you know Steam, where you have a discovery queue, and you can go through that every other day, and you can find something you've never seen before and think, oh, this sounds great. On PlayStation, not so much. There's much less games, much less indie games, much less games you won't have seen before because you think you've seen it all. And I'd never seen this. It's called Conglomerate 451 Overload, which is probably why I'd never seen it. That's a bit of a mouthful, but it's card-based, turn-based game. I'd never ever seen it in anything I'd scrolled, and I scroll all the sales all the time, right through the whole lot of it, just to see if there's anything interesting, anything I can mention on the channel, anything I want to buy and play for the channel. So I'm used to scrolling, and I've never seen this, and then I saw it, and it's not a brand new game or anything. I think it's a few years old. So it's a turn-based. It was cheap. I think it was a couple of pounds. So I thought, let's get that. And it's actually quite good. It reminds me a little bit of a game called Neoverse, which I played on the channel a few years ago now, which I liked a lot. It's not a complicated game, but it's not a straightforward game either. The premise first is that you're an agency. You're asked to start up an agency as a director to fight back against these other underworld kind of companies that are taking over your conglomerate, the building or the area you're in. You can pick the name of your agency. You can see at the top there, I picked Genesis, but you can pick your own. And that's not pick your own from a list. You can decide what you want to call it. And there's little logos you can pick. So there's little customisational things there, which some games wouldn't have. That lady on the screen is my AI PA, I guess. Who's there to advise me on stuff at the beginning. I've been playing this a lot. I've played this a lot. So you can see at the top where it says all reputation credits. Lifeline, tech, I've got a lot because I've been playing it a lot. You can play this in a kind of endless mode where it goes on forever. Or you can play it where it's got a natural end and you need to do the things you need to do in the time. Hence the thing in the top right corner where it says week 23 out of 75, because I'm playing it on the where there's a time frame. So basically, if I don't finish what I need to do by week 75, I lose, I guess, and I'm fired as director. So the game is turn-based, but it's quite a lot of things that happen in the base. So you're playing with clones is the first thing you need to know, which is an interesting part of the game. You can see that it says cloning centre, which might have given that away. And the quarters are like barracks, and you have your clones. So basically each one that's the same type, so for example this one's an infiltrator, they all look the same. And there's quite a few different types, these cyber ones that do tech stuff, and there's ones that are tanks, and there's ones that are kind of assassins, and they all do different sorts of things and have different abilities. And there's quite a lot of abilities that you can give them, and you can give them different abilities. So you can have an infiltrator that's got one lot of abilities, and you can give a different infiltrator a different lot of abilities, if that makes sense. And you can change them around. These things you can name them. You can give them names. You can change the colour of their uniform a bit. You can't change much about that. Obviously you can't change their physical appearance because they're clones, but having said that, you can slightly change the tattoos they've got and the angle of the picture when you decide which one to use, so you can spot the different ones in your quarters or in your game. So it's quite an interesting game. You have a cloning centre. That's our cloning dock, and you can see there the backgrounds are the different types of jobs. So there's infiltrators and tech ones, and I can't remember the titles for them, but basically there'd be a tank, and there's an assassin, and there's a medic one, and etc. And you don't start with all the background. Some you unlock, some you start with, but it's quite late to unlock. So and where it says clone new agent, there you see all the different types. You can see all the little pictures. And you can see on the right it tells you their stats and what they do. So that's all cool. when you do clone new agents, you pick up along the way different chemicals that you can add to them. I'm not going to go into it all now because I don't even think I've picked up an extra couple and I've been playing this for ages. But these extra chemicals you can add to buff up their stats. So when you start, you've just got the basic clone. Later on, you can give them a different substance, immunoglobulin or something, whatever, that's just an imaginary name, but they've got those kind of, you know, chemical names, and it would give you an extra damage boost or an extra HP boost. So then you can make clones with extra bits and pieces, and making clones costs credits and tech and things like that. So that's that bit. I'll probably make a clone in another video, but this is just an overview of the base. Research Centre is obviously where we do research. Cloning tech, healing tech, we've got one going on there. You can see there's the little tree of that, we're doing that one. Making a regeneration tank, because when your guys get damaged, you can regen them, so that's good. There's also a detox, because you can use chemical stims in the battles, and if they get addicted or drugged up or overstressed, you can detox them. So there's things like that. Training is obviously what it is, and there's a little training tech tree. Military tech is, again, it's obviously what it is, different weapons, different guns. You don't, as far as I've seen so far, and I've been playing this a lot over time, you don't get new guns, you just upgrade the one you have. That is what it is. I would have preferred different guns, but yeah, it is what it is. And then you've got cyber tech, where you can augment your guys with new limbs, obviously, and stuff like that. So there's quite a lot of little bits and pieces. It's not as straightforward as you might think when you start. And there's quite a lot of things you can do. Cyber Graveyard is where the guys that I lost in battle are. I've only lost 2, so that's not bad, and they are retired, which is technical term for dead. They didn't really retire and go off and live in the south of France or somewhere. I've got an office, which is just literally a screen where it shows you how you're doing, and there's a little screen there. And then you start a new mission. Now when you start a new mission, you can see on the left you have all the enemy, those 4 companies on the left are the companies we're fighting against. They've all got different influence in the conglomerate, in the building, in the area, whatever. And you can see on the right, those are the missions I've done against them. So the thing is to reduce their influence, and you can see the top one I've done 30%, 15, 20, 19, and very low with the bottom one. But there's different areas and different companies, and you're fighting against the companies in different areas. So yeah, there's always different places to go. If I start a new mission, I'm not going to do the mission now. This is how that works. There's your team, and you can pick someone else if you want to change it up. I'll come to in another video how you would arrange your team and who you'd kind of want, or who I'd pick. You've got the thing at the bottom of the left where it says mission rewards. You get reputation, you get credits, you get tech. You'll need tech to upgrade your abilities and all your cloning and your military tech and all that stuff back at the base, and it'll give you the difficulty. So difficulty 1, and then you've got that one, difficulty 3. You've got different types of missions, and you can pick which one you want to go to. Going back to the quarters, I will show you. It's one of those games where you definitely want to get guys leveled up as soon as possible, because the game gets difficult. It's not a simple game, and you will lose people. I've only lost 2, but I've had people injured before, and you will need people that have got good level, because the level makes a lot of difference. So this one's quite high up, this one's very high up. You can see 550 rank progress to 750. Pain is how injured they are, and intoxication is if they're using too many drugs and stuff like that, and you detox them or heal them, whatever needs to be done. But you do need to kind of be thinking from the beginning kind of how to get a few of them to high level. Then, you know, once you get, as with many games, it works with most games, not just turn-based games, not just card-based games. Once you get a few of them, you know, high enough, then you take 2 of them and take a newcomer to kind of get them to start getting leveled up. This is one of those games where if you lose one of your high level soldiers, it's a disaster. You can't automatically just get a new one. You don't get, as far as I've seen so far in the game, there's no sudden place where you meet someone who wants to join up. You don't get that thing where there's some high ranking soldier who wants to join your guys. So if you lose your top guys, you are basically screwed. So you have to be very careful with them. You can make more, but they come in at lower level. Yes, sometimes they've got genes, cloning bonuses, but that won't offset the fact that they're still basically low level. So you need to be careful with the guys that are good. So it's a interesting game. It's more than what I expected it to be when I bought it. I will be doing at least 2 more videos about this because it's a game that I've played a lot. I'll do another video next time on combat. Then depending on that goes, I'll do a summing up one, or I might do another one on what happens when I go back to base. It depends how the combat goes and how long that takes. Combat isn't quick in this game. It's a kind of, you can go around the city and have a few fights and then you go to the mission, or you can just go straight to the mission. I'll explain that in the next video. And the actual combat itself isn't like quick. It's not one of those boom 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 and it's done things. So anyway, I'll show you in the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching Conglomerate 451 Overload. Till next time, take care for now.